right, hello and good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Paul Trani here, and yeah, I'm gonna dive into what's going on this week. First off, what's up? It's Tuesday, September 7th. For all of you who don't know, I want to give you a warm welcome. Make sure everything's good. I'm waiting for my favorite message. Michelle, there it is. Audio and video are good. Thank you. What's up? What's up, Megan? Good to have you here. Sam, Stony Braswell, Frank's in the house. Benjamin's here. Vikram, Bernadette, Susan. I want to give you guys a warm welcome while you find designers out there, creatives, or just people that are just trying to get by in life. Such as my story. What a day it's been already. I got a flat tire this morning. My girlfriend got a flat tire. I went to go pick her up and I got a flat tire. So that's 2 flat tires this morning. So good morning to you too. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. Just so you know what's going on this week. So slightly shifted schedule, just so you know. Tuesday and Wednesday is sort of our 2-day streams, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have a Thursday where it's going to be a 1-day stream. So Tuesday, Wednesday, a day in the life of a day in the life photo editing with Margaret Alba, as well as designing a fashion lookbook with Heather Lynn. So we can take a look at Heather Lynn's portfolio, and then we'll get into a couple other things too. Yeah, I hope they could be patched as well, because I basically drove on a flat tire for a mile. I didn't know how bad it was till I got out, and I should have stopped right away, but I needed to find a safe place to stop. So nonetheless, I'm happy to be here, you know, and yeah, play the lotto. Is that how that works? I like the logic kind of behind that. You know, so it's like, hey, when it's a rough day, maybe play the lotto and you could win, you know, turn that day around. But you can see Margaret takes fantastic photos. You can see a number of her projects. And again, she'll be live today, as you can see. Again, a lot of black and white work, and yeah, we don't need to go through all of this, but I'm just trying to hype you up for her. Okay, a lot of black and white. I'm like, oh, just click one button, it's black and white. No, it's like much harder than that. So anyways, happy to see you as well. Yes, Andreas, Garth in the house, Andrew's in the house as well. So it's good to see you. Heather Lynn is going to be working with us as well, designing a fashion lookbook. And let's just kind of talk about her font already. Boom. I already respect her because I love what's going on here. And I'm not sure what's happening, but basically she kind of went through, swapped out her name with a bunch of different fonts, and it just works, you know? So good job. I feel like both of these artists and designers, I think I kind of tell maturity as a designer in almost like what they don't do. So they show lots of editing capabilities and sort of a restraint. I think, okay, you're going to stick with 2 colors and it's going to look amazing. Yeah, you know, Margaret's like, yeah, I'm going to take photos in black and white or make black and white photos. Like, what? No color? Yeah, and it's going to be amazing. So I think this is going to be really cool, like really seasoned pros here. So I'm super excited about this. Yeah, so this will be good. So that's actually today and tomorrow, just so you know. And move on along and kind of get through this, click through this pretty quickly if I could. And there's actually more going on Thursday of this week, right, that we can dive into. But essentially we have a Adobe Fresco hot takes. This is from Lightbox Expo. And if you are, hopefully you're on Behance and you kind of scroll through the schedule and can see September 9th, what's happening there. Actually, let me just switch screens. so fresco first takes, which is going to be fun. So let's just kind of click over. I don't know much about Lightbox Online, but basically we have a Lightbox Online kind of being fed into Behance, which is nice. Hosted by Renee DeCherry, which will be awesome. So Kristen Garland, Crash McCreary as well. So we take what's normally like a 2-hour block, broke it up into 1-hour blocks, and we're going to have some fine artists kind of get their first hot takes on Adobe Fresco. And Crash is going to be making a blueprint for movie dinosaurs. Tell me that's not going to be fun. So Thursday is going to be a fun day. That's what you need to know. Just checking chat. And let's not forget Robert Kondo as well from Tonko House right over here. So Robert, let me just double check. Yeah, with Tonko's House, Robert Kondo. So he's going to be doing some sort of first takes with Fresco as well. And again, you could see their work. Sounds like some of you might know Robert. Sam, sounds like you know Robert Kondo. Like, look at this work. Does he deal with sort of stop motion? That would be awesome. But it looks like it deals with all sorts of things. This is going to be really fun to talk about and see on Thursday, which is awesome. And Kristen's amazing work. Visual development artist. Come on now. Look at that. Tell me you're not impressed. Very cool. I love it. Man, I want to be a talented illustrator, huh? I want to be like Sam Peterson. Just talented. It would be so good. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun day on Thursday as well. Friday's master classes, and now you're up to speed on our schedule. Oh, they have a lighting and color class. See, that's what I like about you, Sam. You know, all the pros are constantly learning, and that's what makes them pros. So let's dive into some more news now. Thank you. And we're back. So I wanted to talk about this really fast because this is a huge and awesome opportunity. Co-create at Max. I'm going to jump to this site because you guys need to know about this. Right? So essentially what we do is we say, hey, you know what? We have Co-create at Max. So we basically fund a small project in these different areas for Max. So, and all you have to do is apply. So you can say, hey, I want to work on this cool project for Adobe Max. I don't know exactly how it's Max related. I'm sure it's going to be highlighted during Max. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go. We got it. So it's a project. It looks like you're applying for a full-time job, but it's a project you're applying for. And these are all the jobs that you actually get to pick. This is so cool. I think this is awesome. We're looking for downloadable art, promo art, posters, illustrations, session notes, video call backgrounds, just all sorts of fun stuff. All that marketing material that we usually like maybe pay an agency for, we say, hey, you know what? No, let's give that directly to the community and let's have you guys create. This is what I love about this, Michelle and Laura. Let's talk about this because I love how we're not turning it into a contest. Like, hey, you know what? Do this design contest for free, and one out of the 8,000 will get $800 and be featured. It's like, give me a break. We pay you for your work, and these are the jobs that need to be filled. And now you know. I will post this. I think this is just really cool. And believe me, we probably do have a marketing agency too as well. But like, I just like how we're doing this because we would. You know, we could give all that money to an agency. But no, we're like, hey, let's have you guys create some cool stuff, you know, for Max. Be a lot of fun. So it is amazing. Thank you, Laura. You got it. Ooh, Kimmy J's on board. What'll be cool, because again, illustration, motion animation, graphic design, 3D, AR, you get the idea. So cool. So, and they say still apply even if it doesn't fit within a specific area. So, cool. All right, that's really fun. Alrighty, you got it, and that's worth the price of attending this. Next thing, just wanted to kind of show you the latest batch of Discover content as well, as you can see right here. Let's cut over, and I can paste that in there as well. It talks about registrations, but down here, these are sort of, we get a batch of new tutorials and art and things like that once every couple weeks. So the Discover content is new as of today. So how to create a mirrored effect, video effect. Talking about the future of our Carnegie Hall. How to animate a logo as well. So just fun little tutorials that you can do. Ooh. Kimmy J, you're probably not far from being involved at Max. So yeah, be careful what you wish for. But that'll be great. That's filed under resources, which I like to give out as well. In the area of news, just so you know, Twitter's rolling out super followers, right? So let you kind of cash in on your tweets. So it's like subscription based, and the applications are open for it now. So yeah, super followers. Basically, it's kind of like if it hits one platform, it'll probably hit the other social media platforms. But basically, you have a subscription to as a super follower to whoever you want. So anyways, could be for a couple bucks and you get exclusive content is how that works. No, Kimmy J, you got to make it happen for yourself. I'll help you out as much as I can, but yeah, you guys, you got this. All right, you got this. Okay, well, let's continue, and hopefully that was not mean. And again, sorry, I got a flat. There was 2 flat tires that happened today, and I did not have. So it's been a long morning. Yes, shout out to all the Behance live streamers at Max. So let's file this under resources as well, just so you know, even though I don't have a slide for it. Let's just close out all that stuff. And the next resource slide should talk about gradients, because I know gradients are super popular right now. You can see on my desktop. Yeah, I just have gradients on my desktop. Yeah, I love gradients, right? Are we at a saturation point yet? I don't know, right? Yeah, 2 flat tires on 2 different vehicles. I went to pick up my girlfriend because she got a flat tire. I was going to pick her up, and I got a flat tire going to pick her up. So it sounds ridiculous, and you would be right. But I wanted to show you these different gradients resources that we have. So there's Mesh, for instance, meshgradient.com. Okay, so we can come in here and say, hey, oh, this looks good. We could see the different colors down here, right? And then pick those different colors, right? So we could have this one be that bright teal and bright orange. As you can see, I'm just kind of changing each one of these. Let's shift the hue to green. There's green. And again, we can add another point right here and continue on our way. So, and these are the output points. Okay, continue. Ooh, that's actually already looking pretty good. Okay, so that's one resource for creating gradients, just so you know. But there's Grabient, Grabient, which I think is cool. I'm so tired. Yeah. of horrible puns. Just kidding, Gun Eric. Anyway, this is gradient too, just so you know. Again, come in here, works off the same method. Actually is a little bit easier in my opinion, right? Dropping in a color up there. Let's change that back to lovely gold, and shifting around those colors as well and adding more. So anyways, you usually do this. From there, you copy the CSS, you can paste that CSS. Gradient, or take a screenshot of it. Gradient hunt, just a bunch of different gradients as well. So you can grab this code if you want to, or do a screenshot, or download the palette as well. And yeah, you get the idea. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. Making gradients online. Of course, we could do this in Illustrator and Photoshop and all those good places, as you know, right? We could do the same thing because, hey, I think it would be even easier. We introduced this a couple years ago, and I think it got enough airplay, if you ask me. Boom, right down here. This is the freeform gradient tool tucked back here. Linear, radial, freeform gradient. Let me also tell you something. I'll just tell you guys honestly. We're improving our gradients even more as we speak, and I'm very excited about what we're going to have in the future for gradients. Just so you know. So I feel like we're constantly like on the forefront of all of this. But this is nice and easy. I can come in here, select this, and you get these interesting blends from, if I select blue here, right, we're gonna get this nice little green, right? This was actually not really possible in Illustrator with a linear gradient before. But we're actively working on these gradients even more, just so you know. Yes, it is one of my favorite tools as well, because Michelle, how were you doing it before? You were using your mesh tool, which was a nightmare, right? So hard to work with. I hate to say it, but it was. I'm just being honest. You know, now we can come in here and also double click and throw a green in there. And there we have what seems like an ugly color combo. Why is this an ugly color combo? Because we have primary and secondary colors, and we're kind of mixing them. I mean, it's not bad, but I think that's usually how things get a little lost, is you're mixing a primary and a tertiary color, right? So yeah, if you want to know more about colors and actually make your own gradients or even capture your own, since I'm talking about them right now, let's jump over to color.adobe.com, right? So from here, we can, of course, mix our own color palettes in here, but we could also extract a gradient from a photo. So we decide, hey, we want a gradient from an image in here. Let's grab this one. Boom, there it is. Shablam. There we go. Extracting that gradient, saving it right over here. Oh, looks like I do have to sign in. You get the idea. Is everybody capturing my password? Perfect. You never save your gradients as swatches, and you probably should. If you use them a lot, like I use gradients a lot, just so you know. So that's why I typically have them saved in a lovely little starter file. So again, that's what I did. Extracted that gradient, saving it to Creative Cloud, right? And that will be saved. Also in Illustrator. Let's see what happens. So the tricky part about using freeform gradients is you can't save them to your swatches panel. So that's the only downside. Hate to say it, right? I don't know why that is exactly, but that is the case. So if we switch this over to just any different type of gradient, then yeah, obviously we can drop it in here like so. Cool. But Kimmy, what you actually do is ultimately you just want to have sort of a starter file that already has all this stuff in there. So you can see all these lovely gradients that I use all the time. Easy to work with. Yes, Adobe Capture is also an awesome app for capturing gradients and colors and vectorizing really anything, to grabbing materials and all that stuff. Nothing yet. All right. But the cool thing is we could take this and we could play with this some more. So we could take this. Let's get rid of this black outline. Let's copy it. Let's go into Photoshop. Let's paste it in here. Here it is. Sure, let's make it a smart object. And then we could do a Command T, and then we can distort or warp it. But now you could also use this gradient in Photoshop. As I'm kind of just pushing these around, we're going to get some interesting sort of looks as they start to even overlap, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay. All right, from there, let's actually just throw black. There we go. So again, that's what I've done with the gradient. I already have the start of a cool shape. And by the way, that's a smart object, so it should know. Let's Command T, right click, warp. Right, I still have all this math even as I bend it, right? So I could decide to unfold this if I want to as well. But that's all I'm doing is kind of warping this and making it look kind of fun for this project that I decided to work on and making fun gradient shapes. All right. So again, super easy to work with, and you can get sort of interesting looks there. Cool. Yeah, use the mesh tool. Excuse me. Just so you know, I was just using the warp tool in Photoshop. So I went from Illustrator to Photoshop. I could do the same thing in Illustrator. I can also take a shape as I paste this in again and use liquefy with it as well. So there's a number of things you can do. So now it's in here. Make it a smart object. Liquefy. Right, and we can get a lot of those same swirls and such as I start to pull things around like so. There you go. There's your fun metal or just trippy color sort of look as I make a little bit of a mess. Cool. Yeah, 16-bit mode. Let's see what mode I'm in right now. 8-bit. I'm not getting a lot of banding. If you ever get banding, okay, so since you brought that up, and I'm here to answer questions. If you ever get banding, and banding happens a lot when you're dealing with a radial gradient. Oops, not there. Or you'll have something and maybe you'll blur it, right? That's another huge issue. Anytime you have banding, there's a way around that. This actually looks pretty good so far. Let's take a circle. Let's make it black. And let's apply a blur to it. This is something that happens. I've seen people deal with this. It's like you'll have this blurriness. It's like, oh no, it starts to, you see this white edge. That's not working out too well. One way around that is to crank it down, click OK. You could also rasterize it. So once it's rasterized, there we go. We have it rasterized now, and then we can go in and blur it some more. So usually rasterizing will get rid of any sort of weird banding if you could do that. So okay, geez, down to my last minute. Oh no. So yeah, that was our fun talking about gradients. Probably could do that. Yeah, I made this mess. Hey, everybody, I made this. I made this mess. I'm sure you guys could do a lot better, right? Because we've got a lot of smart people here with me today. I didn't get into my fonts of the day that I'll have to talk about later. But here I'm just leaving you with this lovely free stuff. List. I talked about Discover, and you can see all the other ones there. In fact, I think on Raw Pixel... Let me check. The font I was going to show that I ran out of time for. I'll have to show you later. I think that was on, I can't remember. Maybe Raw Pixel, but I don't think so. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. My time's up. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been quite a day. Thank you, Stony, Michelle, Alejandro, Thomas. And yeah, I could actually even leave you with the schedule. But we do have Creative Encore presentations, Photoshop's coming up, and then Margaret's up after that in 30 minutes. So check her out. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate you guys. See ya.